Anyways, here we go again. Okay, so this will be the part 2 because I got cut off. So, what I was saying about Mount Hermon is that it is about 5,000 acres above sea level. So that's what makes it the highest point in Israel. Okay, so Jude also talks about in 1, I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once know this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not, and the angels who kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. So that's what Jude talks about. And it's very, very much matching up with what Enoch talks about. Number 7. And these are the names of their leaders: Samalaza, and their leader, Erekabi, Ramiel, Kakabiel, Tamiel, Ramiel, Daniel, Aziquel, Berajikel, and Azazel, Armias, Batarel, Ananel, Zachiel, Samaspiel, Zatarel, Teril, Jamajah, Sariel, and these are the chiefs of tens. And all of them together went and took wives for themselves, each choosing one for himself. And they began to go into them and defile themselves with sex with them. Note, Genesis 5:32, 6. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, and the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, just like Solomon. It was 120 years. That's it. That's when God said that's enough. And Solomon too, he became way too far ahead and way too wise, and it just turned him bitter. And we're hated for our name and our testimony and our walk, you guys. That'll always be the case being a Christian. So here we go. And the angels taught them charms and spells and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. And the women became pregnant, and they bore large giants, whose height was 3,000 cubits. Go to Jubilees and read chapter 7, 21 through 25. Look it up, ladies and gentlemen, look it up. I don't have a lot of time. I've got to read and stick straight to the actual book of Enoch. 4, the giants consumed all the work and toil of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. You can go to the book of Jasher, chapter 2, 19 through 22. For in those days the sons of men began to trespass against God, and to go contrary to the commandments which he had given to Adam, and to the prolific, this makes me sick, and reproduce in the earth. And some of the sons of men cursed their wives, caused their wives to drink a mixture that would render them unable to conceive. Do you believe this? And in order that they might retain their figures and their beautiful appearance, and not that all their beauty may not fade. And when the sons of men caused some of their wives to drink, Zillah drank with them. And the childbearing women appeared abominable in the sight of their husbands, and they treated them as widows. And while their husbands lived with those unable to conceive to those women who were attached. This is absolutely an abomination. Unbelievable. Okay, I might not even make it to chapter 10, you guys, because it's unbelievable. It talks about they had them drinking this mixture. And when you think about the adrenochrome, you guys, and the things that they're doing now, it's just unbelievable. So I bless you guys for just joining me. I will read this here from Genesis 4, 8 through 12. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not, to mind my brother's keeper. And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. So he's talking about Cain, and Cain is cursed forever to the earth. And Azazel, chapter 8, and Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and taught them about metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of precious stones, and all colorings and dyes. And then there was great impiety, and they turned away from God and committed fornication, and they were led astray and became corrupt in all their ways. I want to refer to Matthew 5:19. Oh my goodness. Well, anybody that breaks the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches their commandments will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Just remember, guys. Okay, 3. Samjaza taught the casting of spells and root cuttings. Aramaeus taught counter spells, release from spells, and Barajakel taught astrology. Kokabel taught the constellations and the portents, and Ezekiel the knowledge of the clouds, and Arakel the signs of the earth, Shamsiel the signs of the sun, and Sariel the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Wow, they're doing this now. Jasher 4, they're doing it now, you guys. And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men and took their wives by force from their husbands according to their choice. Jeez. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth. And that's it. They take and leave. They take the cattle. They drain them of everything and then leave the cattle skin behind. You guys have heard about those. The beasts of the field, they take those too. And the fowls of the air. And they taught the mixture of animals of one species with the other in order therewith to provoke the Lord. And God saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted its ways on the earth, and all men and all animals. And the Lord said, I will blot out man, that I created him from the face of the earth, from man to the birds of the air, together with cattle and beasts that are in the field, for I repent that I made them. And all men who walked in the ways of the Lord died in those days before the Lord brought the evil on man, which he had declared. For this was from the Lord, that they should not see the evil which the Lord spoke of concerning the sons of men. I'm going to stop at 9, guys. Okay? And we'll see you on another video, I hope. And everybody have a great day. Thanks.